So in today's video, I'm not going to be talking about something to do with riding or biking, but I'm going to be talking about something which has got everything to do with motorbike video production, something which actually impacted my video production. That is sound on my laptop, the MacBook Air. Let's get into it. So here is what happened to me, or this is my problem statement. So my problem statement is that I do use MacBook Air, but on it, I'm running a Windows operating system. So some of you might actually be familiar with this, that there's compatibility issues, there's a whole lot of drivers issues, things not working, things working different way, other things, and this and that and this and that, you know. I do fully understand these complications comes with this kind of mix-up, but from my side, well, truth be told, I do like the MacBook machines. Their notebooks are pretty much good, super sleek and nice. Especially the MacBook Air, I do like this PC like wholeheartedly. However, I'm not a fan of the operating system. So every time when I actually purchase the MacBook notebook, I always change the operating system and run a Windows on it. And the complications that comes with it is that most of the times the drivers, they're always an issue. You find out like the Bluetooth is not working. Sometimes the slot is not working. The internet card is not working. The mouse, you know, sometimes the keyboard. It's pretty much like everything just becomes complicated when you actually try to run a Windows operating system on a MacBook a PC, you know. However, I actually came to terms with that and accepted that I'll actually try to find out my ways on how I can run around that, as long as I actually have a MacBook PC running in front of me and using a Windows operating system. So, amongst all these other issues which I've identified here, which comes with the complications of the drivers and stuff like that, as I mentioned, the Bluetooth, sometimes the camera, the keyboard, pretty much everything, it's just comes dumb. You know, when you actually install the Windows operating system on a MacBook, everything just becomes dumb. It doesn't know what to do, what is what, and stuff like that, except for some few other items which actually might just keep on running and just to keep the PC running. For example, your display. So this is what happened. So last weekend, I upgraded my hard drive, and I actually had the stock standard 128 gigabytes. So I upgraded that to a 256. So when I upgraded that, I actually had to install a fresh Windows on this new hard drive. And you know the complications thereof, as always, they actually started, you know. So I actually managed to install the hard drive and install the Windows. Last time on my PC, I actually installed the Windows using the boot camp. So I actually had two operating systems working hand in hand. But this moment in time, where I bought the hard drive, I told them that I needed Windows. They actually installed Windows completely and wiped out everything to do with iOS on the hard drive. So there is a clean Windows operating system in there. So there's no way I could actually go back to the Apple's operating system. I only had Windows, all right? Okay. As I said, it comes with a couple of issues there, the drivers and stuff like that, the sound and everything. However, there are some other third-party softwares you can actually make use of to actually get running or get rid of some of these driver issues. For example, from my side, I usually prefer making use of this third party here called Driver Easy. I find this tool a bit handy, you know. It's obviously it's not for free. You actually have to fork out some money for that. But the good thing is they actually have a 7-day trial. So what you do after installing, you can actually just make it to scan, and it scans the whole PC of yours, right? And just try to check if there's any drivers which are outdated, if there's anything which just needs to be fixed and stuff like that, you know. After it does that and everything, you can actually be able to go and see, okay, this I need to fix, this I need to update. But on my side, everything is pretty much updated here because I actually ran it. I actually ran it before, you know, so I actually have everything pretty much up to date. But if it's not, then I will encourage you to make use of this when your Bluetooth to actually come to work, and most of the stuff, the network, and pretty much everything, it can actually come to work after you install this. But as I said, it actually comes at a price, and I'm not sure how much is it, around what, 20 bucks or 40 bucks, I'm not quite sure, but it doesn't come free. But the good thing is it comes with a 7-day free trial, so you can actually just make use of that 7-day free trial thing. And unfortunately, you have to punch in your bank details. They need all that kind of information for you to get a trial, because after that, they will actually give you the key. And now you can log into this app and get access to the drivers, you know, but the drivers is just a once-off thing. So you can actually just make use of that 7-day trial window, and then you update all your drivers. However, the catch is in you forgetting to terminate the subscription prior to the collapse or prior to the lapse. So that's where the catch is. Like if you forget to terminate the subscription prior to the expiry of the 7-day trial, then you're gonna be billed obviously at the end of the month a full subscription fee. So if you just want to get away with it, get into it, get your 7-day trial, install your drivers update, and then after that you terminate the subscription. You say you are done with a trial. Thank you. All right. And then they won't say, okay, now we are now uninstalling our drivers because of this. No, it's not. It's their policy. They say we give you 7 days. Try it and see if you're happy. You subscribe. If you're not, then you don't subscribe. Then in this case, you actually get away with it. So in this case, as I said, everything pretty much installs and you actually have your drivers fair and fine. However, the one stubborn driver which actually gave me a whole lot of headache for the past 7 days is the sound driver. The sound driver. This was the stubborn one here, right? So let me just explain a little bit. You know, if you're in a hurry, actually just to know how to get this sorted out or fixed up, you can actually fast forward this video. But if you just want to have a bit of knowledge transfer or sharing what actually happened and why is this happening and stuff like that, just allow me to explain a little bit further. Okay, so as you can see here, right, the speaker, it shows that everything is pretty much fine, you know, and we can adjust the sound and everything like that. But the funny part is, let's see if we can play some sounds here. Let's go to the no copyright music, because I'm going to post this on YouTube, so YouTube should not penalize me. Okay, royalty free, no copyright music. Reject all. Okay, you see I'm playing this sound on SoundCloud. And my volume is full bar, as you can see on the bottom right corner here. Volume is on full bar, the music is playing, but there's no sound. There's nothing playing literally. There's no sound at all, you know. This is what gave me a huge headache, a very huge headache. For the past 7 days, I couldn't even edit my motorbike videos because I did not have sound on my computer. So obviously when there's no sound, you can't monitor, you can't really know if everything is coming out nice and easy and stuff like that, you know. So what happens is when you install Windows, right, Windows installs the drivers that it thinks are compatible with the components thereof, right? Unfortunately, in this case, the component for the sound here is actually running from the Apple, which is a different vendor. So when Windows runs, it installs this, let's go to the device manager here, that you can actually see what I'm talking about. So if we go to the device manager, all right, there is the device manager, and we go to the sound and audio, you see. So the microphone is using high definition audio device. This is the driver in brackets. And the speaker is using the high definition audio device, right? So it actually shows that pretty much everything is fine, as you can see. But there is no sound. We're trying to play here. We're actually playing, and music is playing in the background here on SoundCloud, but there is no sound. So what happens is, like, Windows takes this driver by default and installs it, right? Once it installs it, it registers it in the registry that, well, we have the sound driver installed and everything is working fine. So that's why there's nothing complaining here on the device manager. But little does it know that this driver here is actually not compatible with the Apple chip, which is responsible for operating the sound and make those commands to the sound card and everything, so that at the end of the day, we actually have sound being projected outside so that we can hear it in our ears, you know. So internally, Microsoft is fine. It's saying, yes, I have installed the drivers and you are fine. You should be able to hear sound. Yet at the end of it, the Apple chip is not even hearing that. What are you saying? I can't even tell if there's sound or there's no sound. That's why the speakers are quiet. There's no command to tell the speakers that, hey, please play some sound. There's sound coming through. You know, so that's where the discrepancy is. And I spent the whole week cracking my head and having a head spinning and say, okay, so what should I do? I tried several kind of things to do, but things didn't work out. Even these third parties, I tried. So I went back to my older hard drive. Then I checked. I saw the kind of drivers which I had here. They were actually the Cyrus sound drivers. So I think the Cyrus sound drivers are pretty much clever or intelligent to the extent that they can actually operate both on Windows and be able to send commands to the Apple chip to send sound to the speakers. Right, not these high definition audio device, which is pretty much the stock standard sound driver for Microsoft. And I also tried to install a whole lot of third parties like the Realtek. You can see on my downloads here, lots of drivers I tried to download and didn't work out. You see, even the Cyrus audio, I tried to download it, 206 64-bit, and this 208 64-bit, I tried to download it, but it didn't work out. Yet this is actually the driver which I'm seeing on my old PC, you know, but it actually didn't work out. And I'll tell you why it actually didn't work out. But this is actually the driver which we actually need, you know. I downloaded a whole lot of things, as you can see here. It didn't work out. For the past 7 days, I've been trying and things were not working out, you know. Things were just not working out. Until I actually made a breakthrough and I actually thought to myself that, you know what, I think I can't keep this to myself. I actually have to record it and actually share it out there with others. You know what, there might be a whole lot of others there who are struggling also, just like me, what I was doing and not knowing, okay, what to do, my sound things not working. So I just thought I should actually make a recording and share this with the world. Probably it might help someone out there. Instead of taking 7 days like I did, it might just take you 7 minutes or 7 seconds, because this process is not, it won't even take you more than 10 seconds, believe you me. It doesn't even take 10 seconds, you actually have sound. Fair and fine, just like that, you know, just the installation. So, what's the solution? Right. Solution is pretty much simple. So, as I said, the two giants, they actually have a kind of a, I'm not sure if there's an agreement or something between them, but Apple has actually went further to make a way which can actually accommodate the Microsoft operating system. I'm not sure if it's out of Apple's generosity or it was a deal struck between these two giant operating vendors, you know. So Apple has got what's called the boot camp. You know, I used to take this boot camp lightly until it actually came to rescue of my life here, you know. as I said, things I think were gonna be easier if you actually had two operating systems on the PC, like you have your iOS and you have your Windows. When things get hectic on the other side, you just fall back to the iOS. But in this case, I said I did not have iOS. I still don't have it. I only have Windows. Right? So the boot camp is actually some form of a software package which comes with pretty much all the drivers which you actually need for a MacBook which is actually running a Windows operating system. So it's actually more like a savior, for some of us who actually prefer running Windows on a MacBook product, right? So I came to realize that for my problem, I actually need that boot camp. But as I said, because I wiped out everything, I wiped out the iOS, I couldn't go back anyway and find the boot camp. But there is actually a provision of downloading boot camp on what? On your Microsoft operating system, which is running on the MacBook. So I went through that. I think there's quite a number of websites probably which you can go around there. But the bottom line is you need Bootcamp. You need to download that and put it over onto your hard drive or USB. And then after that, you can actually get all the drivers which you want, which are necessary for your PC to run as smooth as possible. So in my case, I just bumped into this website. I don't know where it came from, but through searching, as I was just looking around, I just bumped into it. It's got a funny name, 123 myit.com, that, right? So on here, when I was just going through, I just realized, okay, this is the bootcamp drivers and stuff like that. So the bootcamp drivers, as I said, it's just like a package of drivers which you actually need to be able to control operating your Windows operating system, right? So the bootcamp is intelligent. It knows its chips. It knows its components. It knows its sound drivers. It knows its Bluetooth network controllers and everything. That's the bootcamp. That's the Apple product, right? So it knows that for my sound card to work, I need to have this kind of a driver, right? Unlike Windows, say, okay, for the sound to work, I need to install high definition audio device, which is not compatible at all with the sound chip of Apple. So Bootcamp knows that, well, high definition audio is not even compatible with it. So once we install that, you see that it's going to be overwritten, this thing. It's just going to disappear. It's going to vanish into some thin air, just like that, because the master will actually have taken over, So what you pretty much need to do, as I said, I think there are a lot of websites there which can actually provide with you with this kind of software, and really the risk is on you. You have to do the due diligence on yourself and search around which one is safe, which one is not. As I said, there's actually a war risk of exposure to viruses, malware, and phishing and stuff like that as you try to run around and scratch around for this driver and stuff like that. But because we're into it, there's nothing we can do. We actually have to compromise sometimes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So I don't know the owners of these websites, but I just found their information pretty much handy and useful, and I decided to share it with you all here. So what you do when you get to these websites, right? I think you can even actually get the bootcamp from the Apple website, but the process there is a bit different. It's a bit tricky, but as for me, I actually found this one a bit similar. So what you do, you just come here and select your PC, right? If it's the MacBook Pro or MacBook Air or mine is a MacBook Air, right? So I just hit that. And after hitting that, this page here presented me with a whole lot of drivers which I might actually need, right? So this package of the bootcamp, remember this is still a bootcamp which we're trying to download here, right? So from this list which they have provided here, if you're lucky, you might actually find yours, right? If you're not, you can still look around on other websites until you find the bootcamp for your specific PC year and model. All right. So mine is actually a 2017 model 13-inch, which is this one right here. Okay, so this is the link to the bootcamp. So I just had to click this, and then once you click that, it's going to take you through to the download, right? So this is the download, which is now happening here on the upper right corner. As you can see, the file is quite big. I think probably around what, 1.4 gigabytes or something like that, you know. But now, because on my side I downloaded this file already, I'm just gonna go ahead and stop this download. I don't need it. As you can see, it says MacBook Air 13-inch 2017 blah blah blah. So I don't need it. I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel it. I already downloaded this and saved it on my USB, you know. So this is the file. I uncompressed it. So once you download the file, things are pretty much now very, very easy. So after uncompressing, it becomes to about 2.5 gigabytes. So this file is the bootcamp, people. What you can do, you actually have two options. Either to install the entire bootcamp, which I think I do highly recommend, because the benefits which comes with it thereof is that you'll be able to also update not only once but continuously all your other drivers, so that you can actually stay up to date and stay afloat without being affected or impacted about anything. And also you won't have anything to do with the third parties software like this one here, which I was showing you around, right? Because bootcamp is just going to be doing it out of its generosity and obviously as part of its ethical service provision and support to the end users, you know. So it's actually absolutely for free, right? So you can do that. Go ahead and install the bootcamp, which I actually did a little bit later on. But if you're still in a hurry to get to your sound, right? Because remember, we still do not have sound. Let's see our music. I hope it's still playing here. Yeah, our music's still playing, and we still do not have sound. Although the speakers are saying we have sound, but we do not have sound, right? So if you're actually very fast about getting sound, right, you can actually just go back where you just come back here, right? And once you open here at the bootcamp, as you can see the bootcamp, there's a folder here with the drivers and the setup file, right? You can just open up the drivers. And once you open up the driver, there's a whole lot of drivers here which you actually think you need. MD, Apple, this and that and that and that and that. And us, we need the Cyrus, right? From my side, because I knew that when I checked on my PC, I saw the audio driver which was installed was the Cyrus Audio CS4208 at 64 bits, right? So I just went and say, okay, I think I'm going to install this. But in your case, if you don't know, you can just start off by this and see how it works, or you can just go through to this and see how it works. So on my end, I just went on to do this, all right? As you can see, then we hit yes. Just count how many seconds there. I want you to see how long that's going to take. Okay, then you're just going to go accept, right? 1, 2, done. Installed. In 2 seconds, just like that. It says you need to restart your PC thing, right? Okay, I will say I need to restart later. Okay, I need to restart later. Okay, now let's see. As you can see there on the right corner, we now have Cyrus Logic CS208 that, right? And if we go to our device manager, right, we now have Cyrus. That high definition audio device has been like wiped away. It's gone. Okay, so now let's see if we have sound here. Where is our music? Okay, we still do not have sound. We just need to do a restart as it's actually wanted. Let's restart. Okay, we are back. Let's go back to this SoundCloud and copyrighted music. There we go. We're back on. We have our sound. full bar and catering. Speaker Cyrus Logic CS4208 AB126. See, we got the device manager. You see that we do have the sound driver. Audio, even the microphone also changes and starts using the Cyrus. So pretty much means Cyrus Logic is actually the intelligent sound driver which you can actually use to work out on your MacBook Air. However, the trick to know is that you can't download these drivers separately and try to install them because they are computer specific, they are year model specific, and they are chip specific. So you can't download them anywhere. As small as they are, as kilobytes as they are, as quick as they take 2 seconds to install, but you can't do that. You need to install them from a compatible package of the boot camp, which actually comes like well integrated and packaged together specifically for your year model and model of your PC. We do have sound. We back on. So, thanks for watching. Enjoy your music and let's go for a ride.